Yo, what is up, you guys? It is Duke, and I'm here to do Fairy Tail Chapter 447 review. And if you haven't seen my live reaction, link in the description down below. And this chapter, Fairy Tail, it was. I already said it in my live reaction, but the rating overall for this chapter, Fairy Tail, it was a good plus chapter, Fairy Tail. We start off with Agio. He like immediately like gets back up from the punch. Like he didn't even fall down. Like he just like stops himself from falling, and he's like, it's been a while since I felt like a good punch, solid punch like that. And he basically like engulfs Team Natsu and plus Makarov into like this giant sand wave, and then Makarov he like just like you know giant freaking fist to stop it and stuff like that. And I believe and like Team Natsu was like stuck, and Makarov he like went into giant form and stuff like that. And then Aju he just does this like massive tidal wave of sand, and and like it was about to engulf everybody. And apparently like once that sand touches you and stuff like that, it'll basically does do what Crocodile does, like back Crocodile from One Piece. It'll basically do what he does, and absorbs like your moisture and stuff like that, and you'll be nothing like but bones and dust. Like once you're engulfed in the sand, that's basically it. Like it's yeah, it's basically similar to what Crocodile does in One Piece. So like once Makarov gets engulfed by the sand, he was gonna turn into dust and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, like I was even like saying, is Makarov finally gonna die this time? And I was like, I doubt it. And then and then Laxus he basically destroys it with one blow. The sand tidal wave with one blow, and we see him. And there was actually a question that Natsu did bring up that was actually very fascinating, that I was curious about too. Like when Natsu brought it up, I was like, yeah, that was actually a very good. Even though like it wasn't the right time, it was actually a pretty interesting question. How the hell was both Laxus and Gagio, able to ride the Blue Pegasus ship without getting sick or anything like that? Yeah, that was kind of weird. That was actually pretty weird. That was actually pretty weird. Maybe that'll get explained next chapter and stuff like that. I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, that was kind of weird. So then like Laxus he tries to basically like Aju he basically tries to attack everybody in the ship and stuff like that. And Laxus he basically does another like massive bolt of lightning at Agil. And then like they all escape. Mess transports everybody, and they all get on the ship and escape. And soon like afterwards, you see Agio he's completely fine and stuff like that. And apparently, the King of Sorcery he shows up, and he actually put up a giant a barrier over around Agio and stuff like that. And Agio he was like, dude, you didn't even have to do that. You know damn well I wouldn't die from that. And I'm like, good, because like I was hoping like Aji wasn't gonna get one shotted. I get like Loxus was training and stuff like that, but I hope he wasn't gonna get one shotted, because Loxus, from the looks of it now, it seems like he's around. He's like, because Aji he's actually been playing with them the entire time. Literally, he's just been playing with them the entire time. Um, and and like Loxus, he seems like he's near the Spriggan 12's level, or at the Spriggan 12 level. And he's actually the only person like I'd be fine with, like at the Spriggan 12 level, not Natsu or the rest of, or anybody, not even Urza, because I think mainly the only people that can take on this that can be on par with the Spriggan 12 from Fairy Tail alone would have to be Gildarts and Laxus. The other people I think that should be on par with the Spriggan 12 would be Jalel. Um, I wouldn't say Jura. I'm just saying, like I wouldn't say Jura, because Jura he was ranked, he was top, even though he was top 5, I don't think he's near God Serena's level, but we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much what I think. That's pretty much my way of thinking and stuff like that. And honestly, that was basically the chapter. Yeah, Laxus return. He saves them. Agio he didn't get one shotted, which I'm glad. I'm super glad about. I'm very very glad about. Because if he got one shotted, I'd be pissed, man. I'd be pissed as hell if Agio got one shotted. But yeah, so the Spring 12 is no joke, and we got a quote from Zeref saying it's starting Natsu, I guess his own Dragon King festival and stuff like that. And I don't know if we're gonna go right into it next arc. If the next arc is gonna be the final arc of Fairy Tail, I don't know. but this arc is just been mainly set up and stuff like that, and for the final arc, from what appears to be the final arc of Fairy Tail. And there is something that actually got me thinking. We learned that Zeref, like in Zeref's flashback, he was cursed by God to so like he remains the same age, he's immortal, and if he like comes into contact with any human and stuff like that, they'll die and stuff like that. If he like basically cares for another human, they'll die right in front of him and everything. So that got me thinking. We already know that there are gods in Fairy Tail, like the 18 battle gods. Even though God Slayers and gods in Fairy Tail have actually been proven kind of weaker than Dragon Slayers for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know freaking why would you make a freaking dragon even more powerful than a god. I just don't know. Hiramashima, I'm bullshitting. Like, seriously, but I think there is actually a god in Fairy Tail. Like, the god of the verse. So, is it possible that the god of the verse could be a main antagonist of Fairy Tail in like the main final, like the final villain in Fairy Tail? Possibly, I don't know, because like we already know there's laws and taboos that happen in the realms of magic and everything like that. So, and apparently back in the day they worshipped the god. I don't know if they still worship. Yeah, they still worship the god because the whole Twilight arc and stuff like that. We got and the Edalos versions of those knights. The Ishai version. I mean, like, those knights from Edalos. Their real world version of like their Fairy Tail version, like whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? Like the Edalos Knights, like their versions of the team of Natsu's, like of Fairy Tail's world. They're, because I don't know what Fairy Tail's world is called. Like, I guess of Ishire. They're like part of this like religious group and stuff like that, and they worship God and everything. And so that could possibly mean that there's a god of the verse, and if Hiramashima does bring in the god of the verse, he has to tie in the god of the verse to the one magic. That's just the way of it. That's just the way it is. He has to tie in the one magic with the god of the verse, and I think it is a highly likely chance that he will bring in the god of the verse, the god that cursed Zeref and stuff like that, and set up all these magic laws and stuff like that. It is highly likely because the one because we need to find out about the one magic and everything. So yeah, so the god of the verse has to be brought in. So after that, what else? I think, and there's still a few more questions here and there, like 777, like why did the dragon specifically leave on that day? Like, we already know why they left, to stop the dragonization in all the Dragon Slayers, but we don't know. Actually, now that I think about it, do the second generation Dragon Slayers get dragonization? I don't know, but like mainly we need to know, like, why was it that day specifically, and how does it tie in with Lucy's mother's death and stuff like that. So we should be, and we already know that it's Lucy after all. She's gonna get her own arc. So, like, pertaining to her, because she already got it for her dad, why not? She already got an arc revolving around her dad and stuff like that. So why not get an arc revolving around her mother? So that's basically it. Chapter overall, it was a good plus chapter of Fairy Tail. It was a very decent arc, very decent. Like, it wasn't like spectacular or anything. It wasn't bad. It wasn't spectacular, like holy shit and stuff like that. But it was a very decent arc of Fairy Tail. Overall, we should be expecting like 1 or 2 transition chapters here and there, maybe 3 transition chapters, but that's pretty much it. Overall, this was a good plus chapter of Fairy Tail. I really enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it, but I was cautious at it, like in my live reaction and stuff like that, because Hiramashima. Like, I'm still cautious about Fairy Tail and stuff like that. So overall, this arc decent. Chapter. It was a good plus chapter. You know what? It was good plus. Great chapter. It was a great chapter of Fairy Tail because Laxus showed up doing his thing and stuff like that. Agil showed that he was no joke, even though he wasn't even. And I'm pretty sure from the looks of it, he wasn't even going all out. He was just playing with them this entire time. So that shows that the Spriggan 12 ain't no bitch, which I'm super happy about. So like the only way I can see them taking down the Spriggan 12 is if they have like teams set up to take them down. That's pretty much the only way I can see them taking down the Spriggan 12. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Tell me your thought, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm Duke. Have a good day, people.